Hi everyone, this is Tyler Beckman from Quadball Corp, and I wanted to show you something that I've been working on for quite a while, basically since the fall, really since the summer. It's basically I've been trying to collect a database of seeker versus snitch encounters, and throughout the video, I'm actually going to be calling seekers catchers and snitches runners. So basically, I've been keeping track of a lot of the MQC games as much as I could, and others. A lot of club games too that I was able to record, and essentially it's just snitch on pitch film, and I'll show you what I mean. So we'll go UVM Tufts. If you want to watch the game, I should probably hyperlink it. I can do that later. Just paste it in. Takes a second, and yeah, this one's filmed vertically, but most of them are horizontal. But essentially, you get the runner and the catcher, the engagement there, as long as it takes. So sometimes it's like 20 minutes, sometimes it's 3 minutes like this, sometimes it's 10 seconds. However long it may be. So anywho, so you're looking at that film and you want to fill in. You actually want to fill in this area first. You want to put in the runner's name. Uh, Sorry, the runner's name's over here. So the runner here is Steven. And then for each catcher, you want to put in the catcher. And then literally with a stopwatch, I have been timing each catcher's engage time with the runner. But obviously there'll be human error in this. And you fill out, catcher one, how much total time they had throughout the film. Catcher two, their total time, and so on, so on, so on. So then we fill out that row, and then we'll come over here and we'll be like, okay, who caught the runner? Who was the catcher that actually caught Henry? It took him 28 seconds. Can we confirm that? Yeah. So you essentially just want to copy that over there, and then these off-color columns you want to leave blank. I'll get to that in a second, but you want to basically fill out everything that aren't those three columns. So was it a clutch catch? I define clutch catch as, was it within 30 or within, like in range, as you will. Um, and also you want to fill out if it was a shutout by the runner, meaning the runner did not get caught. You can see all the way down here, Justin Barnard. No one caught Justin, so Justin actually gets a 1 in that column, and that is a shutout for Justin. So anywho, this is a big database of 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 encounters. I think I got like 32 MQC games just from this past semester, and it's pretty neat stuff. What I do is I run it through a little code I made, and we're able to generate actually a bunch of statistics. Are they good statistics? I don't know. I think they are. I spent a lot of thought and time on them, and basically what I think is good. Um, and just like any sport, there isn't one statistic that's like, okay, that completely just ranks the best runners and the best catchers in the game. The statistics work together to paint a whole picture, and then, being objective, using like objective numbers, and then with your subjective mind, you decide, okay, which ones do I value more? Just like any statistics in any sport. Um, so basically, I run them through a little code. It does some stuff, and this is essentially what we just saw. The game by game, it's just format a little different. Um, like I said, oh, here's like Justin's game. You have this game, with Emily and Beckett. Beckett caught, and then you have something I calculate as a catch rating, a raw catch rating, and a weighted catch rating. Um, and that's where those get filled in, those missing ones. And then this ET means engage time, so it's the the runner's total engage time for that specific game. So that's the game by game how it gets filled out, and then we can compile that into a bunch of catcher stats, which has the number of games, the number of catches. So we can organize that just so we can see. Um, Eli Fighter, has the most games, but also has the most catches. I'm a coach on Eli Fighter's team, so I film basically all of Eli's games. So that explains it. Which brings me to another thing, right? I would love if you send me film. I'll gladly, um, you know, put it in one of these databases I have, and hopefully in the future, like other people can become good at recording and can make their own databases. Just send them to me so I can run the code. And then catches per game is pretty easy. It's just how many catches did you have over how many games. These are just kind of basic stats. Your total engage time that you had. ETPC, that means engage time per catch. I didn't want to write it, so I just abbreviated it. So that is basically this divided by the amount of catches. We can look at that, Yeah, so that's telling too. But now you start to wonder, like, Leo is a MLQ catcher. What if Leo's just going against way tougher snitches, and that's the stat isn't really as good as we want it to be. Well, that's where like the rest of these stats come in. So I like average catch rating, which looks at how quickly did you catch compared to how long does the runner usually last. And I have a whole write-up that explains each of these stats mathematically, and I would love people to read that before they decide that they hate this. And then we go over to individual snitches here. So these are all snitch runners that have been recorded, and these are all the catchers. And then you could look on the right side is like the matchup score per person. So you could see Ben Silver on me actually has like a 94 rated matchup score, Daniel an 80, and so on. And on the left is the lost time. So you could see Beckett has like a 66 lost time against me. Yeah, and that goes on for every snitch. So this might get really big. Maybe there'll be a way to condense it in the future. But it's a good way to look at individual matchups. It's just a cool way. Like, oh, okay, who's the best against Ryan Phillips? Oh, well, Steven is. Who's the best against Steven himself? Henry Bear Benson, so on. So that's the confusing one. The snitch runner stats, little more straightforward. First of all, you have like less names usually, and then you have games, amount of catches against them, total time, self-explanatory. Average time is just your total time divided by the amount of catches, and then the amount of shutouts you got. So these are all pretty good, as you can see here. If you want to look at average time, because that's the key to this, is the snitch runner's average time is basically what we base all of this weighting off of. You can see Justin Barnard is killing it, and then we go so far down, and there's a lot of different nuances to it. And then who's their best matchup based on the stats we see. So here we got Leo is the best against, even though he didn't have the best engaged time per catch, Leo is actually the best matchup against the two best recorded snitches. And also take what I have right now with a grain of sand, because like I said, I don't have a lot of games in here. The more games, the better it will be. So if you see yourself on this list and you're like, I feel like I'm a better seeker than this list represents, don't be upset. With the more games we have, the better this will be. The cream will rise to the top eventually. And yeah, I have a bunch of club games so far as well, and I have more stats. This is just MQC, but I have a bunch more. Hopefully I'll be releasing it soon, so stay tuned for that.